Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a rainbow cake topper. This is something that I wanted to share with you during the month of June, which was Pride Month, but I didn't get to it, and every month should actually be Pride Month, so I'm going to be sharing that with you today. Let's see what ingredients you're going to be needing to make this. You're going to need a clean mat, a round cookie cutter, some toothpicks, a brush, a little bit of water, some gel colors, some CMC powder, white fondant, and the rest of the rainbow colors. I start by taking a small piece of fondant and rolling it around on the mat so that it catches any little bits of lint or fluff left over from the previous time that I used the mat. I'm going to start by using white fondant to create the colors of the rainbow that I don't already have. I'm taking my white fondant and rolling it in CMC powder so that it hardens. I'm using fondant instead of gum paste because that's what I already had on hand, and I didn't necessarily want to spend money on gum paste when I have open bags of fondant. I'm starting by creating an orange fondant. I'm going to dab a little bit of the orange gel coloring into my white fondant that's already been rolled in CMC powder, and then I'm going to use my hands to knead the color in. If you don't want your hands to get dirty, you can use a pair of gloves to do this. Otherwise, just make sure that you wash your hands in between each color. Once I'm happy with the color that I've achieved, I take my fondant and wrap it in some cling film so that it doesn't dry out. The next color that I need to make from the rainbow is the color yellow. I do the same as I did previously with white fondant, roll it in some CMC powder, and then I'm going to use a lemon yellow gel color to get the color that I want. Remember that the more coloring that you add onto your fondant, the deeper the color will be. Next, I need to make a violet color. I used a gel coloring that's called lilac to get this color, and I had to use quite a bit of it to get the color that I wanted. I finally achieved the color that I wanted for the violet, and now I'm going to set it aside and wrap it in the cling film. The rest of the colors that I'm using are from a brand called Satin Fondant. I bought them already colored, so the only thing I need to do is roll them in CMC powder so that they can harden quickly as well. And of course, once I'm done with them, I set them aside and wrap them in cling film so that they don't dry out. And there are my colors of the rainbow. The only color I'm missing is indigo, just because I feel like that's also a blue and not really necessary. I'm going to start building my rainbow from the bottom color to the top, starting with violet, of course. I am rolling it into a thin log, and then I'm going to drape it over the cutter. Next, I take my blue and knead it to make sure that it does not have any creases in it, and then I roll it into a thin sausage like I did the violet. Once I'm happy with the length and the width of my blue sausage, I take my brush with the water and brush over the violet so that this is going to act as the glue when I drape the blue over the violet. If you've got edible glue, you can use that. You can also use egg white as your glue. I'm going to roll out my green fondant into a long and thin sausage, and once I'm happy with it, I'm going to stick it onto the blue. Now, because I'm using my hands to roll out the sausages, they're not going to be the exact same width. If this is an issue for you, there is another piece of equipment that you can use that'll squeeze out the sausages to be the exact same width. You're going to repeat this all the way until you get to the color red, which is the top of the rainbow. As you can see, my different strands of fondant are all different lengths, which means that I'm going to neaten up my rainbow. And I'm doing this using a knife and cutting through my rainbow, making sure that each side is the same length. Now, because this is a cake topper, I'm going to need something to hold it up or to stick inside my cake, and that's where the toothpicks come in. I'm going to use 3 toothpicks on each side of the rainbow, which means that the whole rainbow will have 6 toothpicks. And the reason for this is because it is a big rainbow. It is going to be heavy, so it needs all the support that it can get. So I'm going to put 1 on each side on the outer ends, 1 in the middle on each side, and then 1 in the middle of each of those ones. So if you didn't get that, that's 1 on each side of the red ones, 1 on each side of the violet one, and 1 on each side of the yellow one. And I'm going through this again with my brush and water and making sure that each side is perfectly stuck on. And that is my rainbow. I'm super happy with it. I'm now going to let it dry overnight. And once it's dry, I can use it as a topper on a rainbow cake. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please do remember to give this video a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.